Alright, it's Tuesday. Coming off of a 72-mile week this past week and 11 miles easy on Monday. Tuesday is semi-quality, so we're gonna go 1 mile warm-up, which is what I'm in, and we'll go 8 miles steady, which I have set between I think 7:45 and 9, which easy paces between 8:30 and 9. But yesterday felt harder than what it probably should have, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit of leeway in this one. So we'll see how it goes. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm taking this warm-up mile too quickly. But yeah, I feel like I've mostly recovered from this past week, which is good. Going for 74, just a little bump up this week. So yeah, maybe I'll check in halfway through these steady miles. But here we go. Might get rained on too at some point. Alright, so checking in about 5 miles in. Glass is properly fogged up. It's raining a little bit, but really can't complain. Holding pretty good paces, averaging about 8 minutes, which is about 45 seconds longer than the average of my easy runs, which is good. And heart rate is creeping into the low 150s, which is about as high as I want it. Obviously threshold is at like 170, but I'd like to keep it on the easier side of steady, so as not to push too hard, because again, we're still in base, still coming off a 72-mile week, which is my longest, and pushing for a 74-mile. So don't want to be a hero, but this has felt pretty good so far. The rain feels pretty good. It's really humid, so I'm sweating a lot, but we're feeling good. Going too fast. I was on a good downhill, that's why. All right, speaking of downhill, it's actually not the complete opposite. We're heading into a good uphill. So I'm gonna drop the pace a little bit, keep the heart rate manageable, and check back in. Mile 6 was rough. I think I burnt one too many matches going up the hill, and my legs are feeling it. I try to keep that pace too much, and man, just went too hard. The weight just hit my legs, and I still got 2 miles to go in this rep, and then a cool down. But man, that hill on 6, it's more like 3 hills, and it just takes you out if you try to keep it steady. I think I got up to like 165 heart rate, so not good, but I'm gonna change the rest of my route. I usually do at least one more hill again. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it relatively flat and finish it out. But most of this was good. I knew that part would be tough, and it was. Lived up to it. So get these last 2, check in with you in the cool down. Glass is still foggy. I can barely see. Alright, into the cool down, and as anticipated, it was difficult those last 2 miles. I don't think I got out of the 150s from 6 miles on. So those last 2, I was 150s, low 160s, which is too hard, too high. And I have lifting later this afternoon, so I'm wondering if I'm gonna pay for it then. Most likely, because my legs feel heavier than they should after only 9 miles at this point. And I'm coming off of easy miles yesterday and a rest day on Sunday, so this is my first steady workout, I think, of the base, so I think it makes sense that I would be a little ambitious and pace chase, which again on those hills you can't do because you're just gonna spend too much energy because it's not a workout. I'm not doing any proper workouts in base. I'm touching a little bit of tempo, 15 minutes maybe, strides, and then these steady runs, but nothing threshold or intervals of any kind. So I just gotta chill out. But I feel like I never pace chase, so I'll allow myself a mistake. And be more disciplined next time. Because again, I'm growing, I'm adapting, and that's the point. But it's got to be slow, it's got to be controlled, and I can't get too excited. But yeah, other than that, it was a good run. Humid, sweaty. Worked a little harder than I wanted to, but got out there, did the miles, checked the box. Just got done a recovery run, 9 miles, and it was harder than a recovery run should feel. Kind of like, well, I guess last week was better, but this was, I don't know, I think I'm right on the edge of maybe overreaching a little bit with the mileage, where my legs are just lazy enough on these recovery runs to where it doesn't feel as easy as yesterday's easy run, which was faster and a little bit longer. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. But again, I think that's just what my body's trying to get used to as the mileage creeps up more and more. Yeah, it's just, I guess, the nature of the beast. But got another 20 miler tomorrow. I think it's gonna rain a lot, so that should be fun. Super humid this morning, so sweating a lot, and didn't wear a sweatband, which I should have been wearing, because I got sweat in the eyes and that's not fun. But yeah, creeping closer to another record high mileage week. Other than the laziness in the legs, like usually I've got a lot more soreness in my calf Achilles, but it's not really there. It's feeling nice and stiff. I know stiff sounds weird, but when you're running, or at least that's what the feeling I want. I want it to be stiff and strong. So I think the calf work is really paying off, which is good, because it's not something that I've ever done super intentionally in the past. We're back for another early Saturday morning long run, about 4 miles in, and I feel like it's an every other weekend occurrence where we've got black bear sightings in or within a couple miles. So there was one spotted last night, so I'm in the dark/twilight, so keeping my head on a swivel, keeping my flashlight on, well lit areas, well populated. So far so good. No bears, no foxes even, so can't report any wildlife. Legs warming into it. stiffness. Oh, there's deer. Okay, there's first wildlife. So yeah, I imagine it's gonna take a couple more miles to really get into it, but it's gonna be another high mileage week. Oh, it's a mom and a baby. Oh, they're so cute. So yeah, I anticipate, just like last week, last couple of miles, to feel like a lot of work. So preparing myself. I'm probably in between easy and steady pace, which is what I want. And then we'll see if we have gas in the tank for that last 10K. See if we can progress. But so far so good. It's humid. It was raining a little bit, so definitely sweating. And it's already like 70 degrees. So it's warm. But we're just gonna keep trucking and pray that we're getting acclimated to this temperature and humidity. So I'll check back in the daylight because we're about to hit a hill. Go figure. All right, it is noticeably brighter. About a mile and a half later. Still feeling good. And I was thinking as I was running, even though I am running a lot of miles and lifting twice a week and pretty heavy, my legs just feel strong. Like with each stride, I can noticeably tell, especially compared to last training block, just how strong they are. My calves, hamstrings, glutes, quads, because I've flipped my gym routine entirely. I'm gonna cross the street. More daylight. Yeah, I flipped it entirely. So it's primarily a leg, lower body focused session with heavy squats, heavy calf raises, and heavy one-legged Romanian deadlifts. And yeah, like just feeling the strength in the stride, in the push-off, just really is encouraging, because with each step, again, even though the majority, probably 90% of these base miles are easy, which should put me at a lower injury risk, I can just have more confidence in that each stride is strong, my tendons are stiff, and my muscles are, more fatigue resistant, which especially on these long runs comes in handy, where you can just hopefully go on autopilot and just tick over 1 mile after another, one stride after another, and really just go on autopilot. So I don't know, it's just a thought that I had as I remembered back to last training block. I thought I had some Achilles tendonitis coming on, because it was just, my right Achilles was just so sore, but I think it just needed to be stiffened up, calf muscle strengthened, especially from what I've read. The research says the soleus, which is the sort of the unsung hero of your calf muscle complex, and it's deeper than your gastrocnemius, which is the big one that sort of sits on the surface. Getting that one stronger is really the key, because apparently the soleus carries a lot more of the load with each stride than your gastrocnemius. So bent leg calf raises are the key to really focusing on the soleus. So yeah, I can't attribute enough credit to my strength training so far, to how I'm feeling and how I'm able to run on tired legs, noticeably tired legs, but still feel strength, and that fatigue resistance, and certainly that injury resistance. I haven't felt anything in any of these 70-mile weeks, which is pretty encouraging. So we're on the downhill here, about to head up a pretty steep uphill. And again, no bear sighting at this point. There's been police presence at the local park where I run, so I don't know if that's just part of their rounds or if they're on bear watch duty, but we'll keep moving. So I'm at just over a half marathon, and I had the opposite experience that I typically do at 10 miles. It got hard and I didn't get that second wind that I normally get, and to be honest, really count on. So I got to water. I did another gel, caffeine one, and just did some loops that are not flat, but relatively speaking. And I think I got a little bit of that second wind, but it just goes to show you that you can never count on these runs feeling the same a week apart, and you just got to go with it. So we're gonna see if I can hit more of a steady pace to close out these last 6 miles. It's the 10K. It's the one that I want to tackle every single time on these long runs, because it's the one that's going to be the hardest come November, and it's when I want to be the most mentally sharp and determined, even when physically I'm in shambles. So let's do it. I'll probably update at the 5K. Okay, 5K to go, and I don't feel as bad as I did last week because I wasn't pushing as hard, but the legs still feel heavy. So it's going to be a grind again. But again, I'm at 71 miles. It's the first I've ever gone. So it's expected. So we're going to run to the water fountain and run back and knock 20 out. And I'll check back in at the end. That was harder in a different way than last week. That was the legs just turning into cinder blocks in the last 2 miles. Again, that last 5K, it's like I get there and it feels like I've got nothing left. So I feel like I'm just slogging along, and I even felt my right quad tightening up. I felt something in my right hamstring. I did only take 2 gels for a, 3-hour run, which probably wasn't the best idea. I knew I'd be in easy for most, if not all. And I think for that last except for that last 5K, I was. So I wasn't really using a ton of carbs. So I think 2 gels, because I don't feel like I bonked. Like energy-wise, I feel okay. But man, tough. We'll see if I go up another 2 miles next week. I don't know if I have it in me, but got it done. Time to get the baby. Ooh. So that was an absolutely dastardly last 2 miles. Like I said, I think the combination of just the mileage, and I didn't get a ton of sleep last night. You can hear something my son's watching in the background. Just combined to make it really hard. So I think I also said that I'll reevaluate for next week if I'm going to keep upping the mileage. If I'm going to keep upping the mileage again, because that was hard, and I'll have to just listen to my body to see if I can handle increasing it more. Which up until this point in base, I'm not getting much higher than, I think I'm hitting 80 in the last 2 weeks. So at 74 miles, I'm pretty close to that. So as far as the rest of this base block, there's not really a whole lot of more room to go.
The Christmas!
Oh, nice. Start at the beginning, or you want the airplane one?
No, the spaceship one.
The spaceship one? So yeah, we'll see. But again, that's the 4th week in a row that I've done 20 miles. So I feel like mentally it's feeling manageable. But physically, just because it's placed at the end of a lot of miles already, it's tough. So, but that's all good preparation, because it should be tough. As far as marathon simulation goes, because that's the closest to the level of fatigue that I'm going to feel. So it's all good. We've got nothing really planned for the day, and then tomorrow's rest, with just serving at church. So I'll be on my feet a little bit, but it's not overly strenuous. And then we'll restart on Monday. I think it's going to be unbelievably hot next week. So even getting out at 5, it's going to be in the 70s, which is already too warm. But the summer heat acclimation hopefully is going to pay off when the cooler weather hits in the fall. So we'll just have to push through it, be smart. Again, it's still easy, so I'm not pushing myself in the hot weather. But I'm dealing with some chafing issues in both of my lats on either side, which is not fun. So I had to run like this, which probably looked really funny, because I was sweating so much. I think it was 94% humidity this morning, which is just insanity. So I got to work on a solution for that. I even hit it with Body Glide on both sides, so I thought it was in a good place, but now by mile 10 I could feel it on my left side, and then at some point I could feel it on my right side. So I had the double chicken arms going, which, yeah, looked ridiculous, but wow. But it's what I had to do to keep it from getting worse. So I don't know which week of base this is. I think it's 8 or 9, something like that. And I think I'm doing 12 or 13. So feeling good, feeling really good about where my mileage is at, because I don't start building until the first week of August. So we've got 4 weeks left of base. And again, in those last 2, I'm gonna hit 80 miles. So I'm gonna roll into this build phase with some good mileage, which I did not have last year. So here's hoping that's gonna be the key difference maker. I think it will. I think it has to be. because just the data shows that the fitness is going to be better. So, yeah, time to just rest and spend time with the family.